Hey everybody, welcome, welcome. Hi Delina, nice to see you in the chat. First in, first comment. Hope everybody's doing well. We'll give it a few minutes to let everybody start to join. While you are waiting, one thing you can do is to open your ephemera pack if you did buy the kit and separate them. So, put your paper dolls together, put your wreaths and your poinsettia items together, and then put your ephemera together. Just separate it a bit so it'll be easy to find what you're looking for. Hey, Kim. Just giving everybody an opportunity to join. Tina, welcome, welcome. If you can let me know if you can see and hear me before we get everybody joined, that would be wonderful. I have been in the craft room today getting ready for the class. Hopefully you guys have been as well. Trying to organize my items. Yeah, that's what we're doing. I did put a little poll up there to just see who has attended a class and who hasn't in the past. So feel free to take that poll if it allows you. So 67% of y'all have said you have taken a class with me. So that is great. Hello, Melody. Twilight. I'm sorry. Is that Melody? Can't tell. Rena, welcome. Happy Saturday. So we are just getting people joining now. Gitta, hello, welcome. So as we're waiting for everybody to join, if you can just confirm that you can see and hear me, that will at least help me out. Also, if you did buy the kit, you're going to want to open up the Tim Holtz ephemera pack and start separating your ephemera. Put all your paper dolls together. Put all of your wreaths and holly items together. And then put like your big tag items, the bigger items, put those together. And then of course your smaller ephemera can go together. So you'll have four spots. Hello, Lourdes. Welcome. All right, so we've got 1201. Thank you for the confirmation. Was looking for that. All right, so we have 1201. And we're going to go ahead and get started here. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and just kind of lay out some ground rules. I don't typically have ground rules for my classes, or when I go live, I should say. For my classes, I kind of like to put out a few ground rules. So typically when we are live and we're just kind of playing and crafting, we have lots of chit chat in the box, talking about dinner, talking about breakfast, what we're going to do this weekend. I'd like to keep the chatter to the class, so that way I don't miss questions. So anything that we're talking about in the chatter box, please kind of keep it to the class related. And then when we do our regular fun lives, like on Sunday afternoon, we can just chat about whatever we want. So I appreciate that. I always love encouragement, so don't be afraid to let me know you're having a good time with emojis or whatever you like. Hearts are always nice. And of course, give me a thumbs up on the channel. We are on YouTube Live, so this will be streamed for everybody. If you did sign up for the class via my sign-up form, I'm going to get you guys a freebie after the class. Typically, I do it before the class. I've just been really busy. But I'll get you guys something as a thank you for signing up for the class. So that's kind of what I have going on as far as ground rules. Does anybody have any questions before we kind of transition down and talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing? Hey Robin, welcome. We are scheduled for 3 hours. So, if you want to get some water or something to drink, I encourage that. I have water because I do a lot of talking. But it's always nice to have some hydration, some type of hydration form for you as well. And then if as we go probably about halfway through the class, maybe an hour and 50 minutes through, we'll get up and do a stretch. I think, at least for me, maybe my bones are getting old. If I'm sitting too long, my legs get cramped. So we'll do a stretch about halfway through. But of course, feel free to get up and move around and do what you need to on your own, just like if you were in a classroom. You don't have to ask permission to use the restroom. So just have a good time. That's all I require, is for you to have a good time. All right, let me transition down, and we can take a look at my messy desk. Not too messy. All right. Let's see here. Let me just organize this. So as you see, I've been already separating my ephemera pieces. Okay, there we go. So yeah, you're going to want to have a pile with your paper dolls, a pile with your bigger ephemera, pieces, including your Santa there. You're going to want to have a pile with your poinsettias and the flowers, and then a smaller pile with your smaller items. It will just make for ease when you're looking for your items. This is a kit class. And if you purchased the kit, you would have gotten the ephemera, you would have gotten the little book, and some extras. If you did not buy the kit, but you still want to play along, I did put together a few more of these little tag flips. They're not exactly the same, and the reason I didn't have more kits is because I ran out of items. I mean, you don't have the bingo; it's mostly tags. But these are in the shop for only $5. So if you want to get just the base and then use your own ephemera, that is available to you. I also do have an ephemera pocket available in the shop, and it has vintage items. This alone is very valuable. They're hard to come by. And then I have Borden coupons. I've got vintage airmail envelopes in here. I've got an old invoice, a Santa. So I do have these also available in the shop for your purchase. What else? A lot of the items that I'm using are also available in the shop, like these little sale price tags, these little coupons. So I try to put things that I use in the shop, things that I use for my kits in the shop. So be sure to check that out if you want to get some things. The other thing I want to talk about is my Backstage Pass holder. I know many of you that are in the chit chat are part of my Backstage Pass, and what that is a membership which gets you access to all of my digitals in the shop. So you can download them with a coupon code for a whole year. The Backstage Pass is a great deal because, like I said, most of my kits are about $5.50. And I have lots and lots of kits in there that would get you a coupon code to download those. And that's how I support my shop is through memberships and through purchases. So any support you can give me for my shop is certainly appreciated, and I thank you. All right, so enough of that, guys. Let's go ahead and get into this. So before we get started, does anybody have any questions? Just go ahead and type them in the chat. And I'll give it a minute here. All right. So one other thing, as we're going along, some of the items I did add. If you find that you're missing something, which you shouldn't. I mean, it was a kit, but if you do find that you're missing something that I'm using and you think it's part of the kit, just send me a personal email. Don't necessarily call it out in the chat. I can't do anything about it during the class, but just make note and send me an email and I'll make it right for you. I am human. Believe it or not, I do make mistakes. So if you do find that I am missing something in your kit, let me know and I'll be happy to make it right for you. All right, so let's get to it, guys. So welcome. If you haven't taken a class with me before, my name is Monica Taylor. I am a vintage inspired crafter, which means I love to recreate vintage memorabilia, vintage memories. And that's where I had the idea for our tag book. I like the idea of being able to see lots of layers on a book. And then as you turn the page, you know, of course, you can see different items, which is always fun. And this little bugger here likes to come out. If your pages start to come out, just tighten up your binding. I don't know what I want to call it here. Just tighten it up so they don't come out. It is binding, so it can come out sometimes. I'm not sure why this is coming out, but anyway, so you get how to do that. Just stick it back in if you need to. I'll fix that later. But it is a little book, and we're going to go ahead and create the pages. So let's get going. So we're going to, the way we're going to do this is we're not going to do page by page like I've done my other books. We're going to kind of put the outlayers and then we're going to decorate it. So what I mean by outlayers, you have a lot of items that stick out. So we're going to work with that for the pages. So we might be flipping back and forth. Hopefully that won't be too confusing for you. This page is bothering me. So hopefully that won't be too confusing for you. But if it is, you know, work at your own pace. What I always say is, there we go. At the end of the day, this is your book. If you don't like what I'm doing, if you don't like the page I'm putting together, feel free to add your own flair to it. You don't have to copy exactly what I do, but certainly if that makes you more comfortable, that's what we're here for. So let's get started. All right, so your first page is a quarter page, and you're going to want to decorate that using your vintage Viewmaster reel. All right, so you're going to want to grab that. You should also have some tickets in your kit that you can separate, and that's going to be part of this page as well. And then in your ephemera pack, you're going to have this little happy or Christmas and a Happy New Year. You're going to want to find that. So let's see if we can find that. It's in here somewhere. I guess I didn't do a very good job of separating everything out. All right, as we go along, we'll find it. But that's what you're looking for, is this item here. I was messing around with things on my desk, so it might not be that obvious to me. All right, so I like to add ink to my items that I glue down. So I am using walnut stain. That typically is my ink of choice. You don't have to do that, but that's what I do. And then what I'm going to do is glue it down. So I use 3-in-1 Beacon. I don't necessarily like to use tape glue because then I don't have any movement. And when I'm creating these books, I like to be able to have movement in case I don't like the placement. So that's what I do. Where did that piece go? I don't know. I'll find it. All right, and then the next piece you're going to put down is this. Now remember, the idea is to have things hanging off the edge, you know, so when you open it, you can see it's hanging off the edge. So keep in mind when you are gluing down your items, don't feel like you have to put it right on the sheet. In fact, this wouldn't even fit on the sheet, right? You want it to hang off the edge a little bit. So So let's do that. And I'm just putting glue in the middle portion of mine. There we go. Let's see. There we go. Do you see how I like the movement? I like to have movement. All right. So that is our first page. If you can find your Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, that goes right in the middle. I'm not sure where mine is offhand. I thought I did a good job of separating things, but apparently I did not. But find that piece. See, I might have to send myself an email saying, Monica, I didn't get my Merry Christmas piece. Did I stick it in here, maybe? Yeah, I'll find it. All right. But that's going to go right in the middle of your ViewMaster, okay? So we're going to come back and do the decoration as we go along. Like I said, we're going to keep going back and forth. So the next page is the bingo page, and this is going to have the fireplace. I know I saw that in here. So there's going to be a lot of looking for pieces. There it is. All right, so this is going to be, now this is a pocket, guys, so when you glue this down, make sure that you don't glue the top, all right? And then you're going to look for your poinsettia. There's lots of poinsettias out there. This is a single one, and it's kind of flat. So this is the one that I'm using, and that's going to go on the corner, okay? So let's go ahead and place our fireplace. And remember, like I said, this is a pocket, so don't glue the top part. Okay, and then just stick it down. This one you want to get on the bingo card. You don't want it hanging off because, like I said, it is a pocket, and you want it hanging, or you want it to be inside. And then let's go ahead and find our little girl. This is the one I use, but of course, like I said, feel free to use whatever you want. But I did pick out these pieces based on them working for each page. And then before we put her down, because she does kind of overlap the poinsettia, we're going to put this down. Now this is going to hang off the side a bit. So just kind of keep that in mind, kind of place it, have an idea. But when you glue it, you don't want to put glue on the part that's hanging off. Is everybody good so far? Just kind of let me know. I'm going to be asking as we go along without seeing, chatter in the box. I just want to make sure everybody is good. So just let me know every once in a while that everybody's good. Thumbs up are also kind of help me to show that you're still there and engaged. And feel free to ask me questions along the way. That's what I'm here for. All right, so let's put this down, right? And then I like to turn it over just to check my glue situation. And if you do get it, on the outer part, it's not a big deal. Just wipe it off so it doesn't glue on your next page. Okay? And then once you have that down, now we can put our little character. All right. And as you can see, I'm only putting glue on half the side because half of her is going to be off of the page. And, you know, you can kind of look to see where her feet are, and that's about the halfway mark. Kind of what I use. All right. And then you're going to have a working pocket, right? That you can stick things in. Hopefully you didn't glue it down. And, you know, keep in mind that this is still, might be a little tacky, a little wet, but I just want to show you that this is going to be a working pocket for you. Okay? All right. Everybody good? I'll give you guys a minute to catch up if you need to. I'm just going to hang tight a minute. There's my Merry Christmas. All right, I'm going to go back to page 1 and put this. This is going to go right in the middle, guys. Is everybody good? Robin, are we good? I just want to make sure I am not frozen. If you can just let me know that we're good along the way. And don't forget your thumbs up as well. Okay, I see the little emojis coming up, so thank you. All right, so now that we got our little Merry Christmas here, you can put your little guy here. And he's the one with the arm. And these are great. These little paper dolls are great because they kind of, you know, he looks like, you know, he's putting his arm on something. So kind of keep that in mind when you're placing him. And you can add him if you would like. Okay. All right. So with my poll out there, it looks like 67% of you have taken classes with me. That's awesome. For those of you that never have, I appreciate you joining me today. Thank you very much. All right, so there is our page 1. Of course, you know, the little embellishment we're going to add is the sale price. So you can add this if you would like to. And I just tied it. So you can tie this into a knot for the embellishment piece. Okay. Got big fingers there. All right. So I did a double knot. And then this is going to clip on. And there's a couple ways you can do this, right? You can kind of let your sales price hang, or you can clip it. I have mine clipped, but you can go either way with that. Just like that. All right, so that's page 1 complete. Page 2 is complete. And what's really nice about these pieces that hang over is you can use them, once they're dry, you can use them as your page flipper, which is really fun. All right, page 3. This has the Santa, Mr. Santa, and it has one of the postcards. So hopefully you separated your ephemera pieces. It's this one right here. Yeah, it's this one right here that we're using for page 3. All right, so you're going to want to get that piece out. And then you're going to want to find your Santa with the drum on his belt. So go through your pieces. There he is. And this is your Santa you're going to use. Now we're also going to add as a little embellishment our 25-cent coupon, or ticket I should say, it's not a coupon, with this little itty bitty metal clasp. All right. The other piece we're going to use on this is quite a few pieces we're using on this one. Is this one right here. Okay, so you're going to want to grab that. And then this is a pocket. So we'll grab that when we're done. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to break it down for you. This goes first. All right. And then this, not this piece. This will go second, and then your Santa will go third, and then your clip will go fourth. So it seems a little complicated, but stick with me here. All right. So the first piece you want to work with is this. Okay. So if you take out this, you can see what I'm talking about. This, let me unclip this so you can get a better view. This is going to go right at the edge of the hole. Okay, so you don't have to figure out exactly where I want to put it. A little over it. So not right on the edge, but a little over it. And that's what creates your place to put your Santa. Okay, so is everybody cool on what we're doing here? You're going to use this bigger piece to extend your page. It's in a page extender. And then you're going to put glue all on it. All right. So what I did is, rather than putting glue on this, I put it on my tag. So I just kind of, knowing I was going to do this, I just kind of eyeballed it and put glue on my tag. All right. And then this will just go right there. There's no wrong placement, you guys. So if your piece isn't exactly where mine is, don't fret. This is a junk book. Doesn't have to be perfect. But ultimately, when you close it, you're going to see it as the outline. Okay? So you're going to get that down. The next piece you're going to use is this one. Now remember, this is a pocket. The only part you're gluing is this edge, guys. So don't get crazy on me and put glue all over the place. You just want to put glue on the edge. And this is just going to go something like that, okay? So you can go a little higher, a little lower. Remember, it is a pocket, okay? So kind of keep that in mind. Just put your glue right on the edge. And this is the right side. This is the left side. Let's make sure we get that right. All right. So I'm going to just put some glue. I call these tuck cards. I've used these a lot in my journals. And it's just a place to put a tuck. Very, very popular. It's great for pages, for junk journal pages. Because whenever we're doing pages, of course, we like to put little tucks and whatnot. Now your Santa is going to go here. So keep in mind, you want to have room for his feet, for his boots. So, just remember that when you're doing your placement. Also, you're going to be putting your Santa here. Let's do that next, actually. So that way we can get our placement right. Inside your kit, you should have these Santa letters. And of course, I have my S, my N, and my T, and my others are missing in action. Let's see. They were here when I started. what happens when you're working with ephemera pieces. All right, let's see if maybe, oh, there's one. And there's the other one. All right. Whew, it's a little nervous there. Okay, so these were die cut for you guys. You should have the SANTA, and it all goes on this page here. So the way that I like to put these is I like to do the S and the A, and then I just put the ones in the middle. Now remember, you only want the glue halfway, right? So keep that in mind when you're adding your glue. Okay, so there's your S. Okay. And then you're going to want to end with your A. So we'll put glue on that. Okay, so now you've got your beginning and your ending for your letters. And then what I like to do is just space them out accordingly, okay? So now that you have an idea, we'll let those dry a second, of where your letters are going to go, now you can place your Santa. Again, remember, this is a little tuck. So when you're placing your Santa, don't glue him to your page. You only want the glue to be on this part here. So please keep that in mind. You're going to have to get an idea of where your glue is going to go. Okay, so kind of figure it out. Robin, kind of figured out exactly where your glue is going to go. So your glue is going to go, you know, about where his face is, and then not quite to his, well, I guess you could glue down your boots. That won't be a problem. But don't go above his face. So I like to just put like a little, you know, my finger. Also, you don't want to put stuff where his bag is. So I'm going to start about right here, and then his bag is going to be off, so don't do anything with that. So try to keep it, I mean, you should be safe here. Just don't, you know, don't get crazy with your glue and cover up your pocket. That's just really what I'm trying to emphasize here. All right, and then just, you know, just stick them down. And then this should still be open up here, right? Because we didn't, whoops. It's going to be wet, Monica. We didn't put glue, hopefully, right there. You know, so there's your little tuck. Is everybody good with that? I'm going to take a drink of water, give you guys a second to catch up. So it looks like the poll here, we've got 62% of you that have taken a class with me. So welcome, some of you newbies. If you've never taken a class with me, I would love for you to introduce yourself to me. Just put your name in the chat and let me know where you're visiting from. I'd appreciate that. I live in Montana. It's starting to get a little chilly here. But, you know, I did move to Montana, so it's my own fault. But yeah, it's getting a little chilly. It's a little rainy today. I'm going to have to turn the heater on in my craft room because it is starting to get a little chilly. All right, so let's go ahead and put our A next. Again, if you want to kind of space it out, you know, you could do that. So our N will go somewhere there. Actually, the N's going to go there. And then our T and our A. So we're down to 57% of you have taken a class with me. So yeah, about 50-50. So call yourself out, guys. Introduce yourself if you've never taken a class with me. I would love to know that. Carlink 1967, and you're from Idaho. You're out this morning, but I'll finish watching later. Love the book, Monica. Well, welcome. I'm glad that you joined us. And definitely the class will be on repeat, on replay. So if you can't stay for the full 3 hours, you will be able to come back and finish up. All right, so let's put the N. Thank you for introducing yourself. I do go live. Hopefully you've now joined my YouTube channel. I do go live on Sunday afternoons at 3 o'clock. But for the rest of this week through Wednesday, hubby is away, so I get to play. I'm going to be doing lives every day and through Wednesday. So I hope to see you all there again. All right, so there is your Santa. Okay? Pretty easy to put together. Like I said, start with your S, put your A, make sure you spell it right. That's the main thing. And then just space out your letters. And then once you have your book together, right? Or your page together, I should say. You can clip your little 25 coupon. Don't be afraid to have your ticket sticking off. That is part of your layering, is your ticket here. So yeah, so Carly said she is catching up on all my videos. I have been on YouTube for a while, you guys. So if you are relatively new to the channel, definitely check out the playlists. I try to put all of my Halloween videos together. So just for ease in finding things. And then this is going to be your tuck, right? So a joyful Christmas. So it's always fun in your journals to have little things that you can pull out. So that is your tuck. And what's cool about this is see how it layers. So it looks like part of the layered page, even though it comes out. All right, there you go. That's page 3. We are moving along. Okay. And page 4. Okay. This is a very simple page, guys. So you're going to want to find your frame. Okay. You're going to want to find a couple of your hollies. So let's see if we can find these. You got a smaller one down here, right? Which I want to say is that one right there. And then you have a longer one. So let's see if we can find that. No, not that one. It's the one that has that one right there has the hollies in the middle. So we are down to 56% of the people that have taken classes with me. So call yourself out, guys. Let me know if this is your first time taking a class with me and where you're visiting us from. All right, so the first piece you're going to want to lay down is this. Again, remember, this is hanging off the corner. So when you're adding your glue, try to stay on the inner part of your holly. Bye, Carlink. We will, definitely catch the replay. And I hope you have a lot of fun creating the book. All right, so just kind of like that, right? And just adjust it as needed. Check out on the other side, make sure you don't have any glue hanging out because you don't want it to stick to your next page. And then the next piece you're going to want to add down is your frame. This is going to go, right on top of the holly. Okay. And this is going to go entirely on the page. So feel free to add your glue all over the frame. All right. And then that will go just like that. I kind of use this bottom here as my eyeball, and then I just go just right above that. Okay? Excellent. All right, and then this is going to be our corner. Again, it's coming off the side, guys, so keep your glue on the inner portion. Okay. And then just check to make sure you don't have glue coming off on the other side. And I'll give you guys a minute to catch up. Let me know if everybody's good, how everybody's doing. You aren't popping up anything, right? Nope, nothing is popped up, Robin. It is all flush. Pop-ups would make your book a little bit more thicker, and believe me, it's gonna be it's gonna be thick enough. Promise you. So yeah, no pop-ups on this one. If you did want to pop something up, again, make it your own. The only one I would pop up would be something on my front page. That's the only thing I would pop up. But yeah, these are all flush. All right, and then you got to find your characters. The one thing I have to say that I like about Tim Holtz's ephemera packs, I like that he's been adding paper dolls to his ephemera packs, because then you can do kits like this. When I was putting this kit together, this kit actually goes back to a few years. I can't remember what year it was. Oh, I have the package right here. This is from 2024. So this was last year. And I had a heck of a time finding kits at the last minute. I was searching out kits because I like that it's all inclusive, and it was easier on me to put these kits together to already have filled kits. So if I do, I'm going to do classes in the future. When I do classes in the future, I think that's the way I might go. And then I might add just a few of my own little tidbits. All right. So these characters, they're out shopping maybe. You know, it's the holidays. They're all bundled up. They go right in your frame. I don't have them overlaying your poinsettia here. So that's kind of your reference point. So it's not exactly centered. It's a little bit to your left, if that helps. All right. So that is a very easy page. Again, these pieces that are hanging off the side are good page turners, and that's what I really like about this kit. All right. Moving along, guys. The next one, we're going to be looking for this big piece right here with the bells. Love that piece. When I saw that, that was probably one of the main pieces that gave me the idea for the layered book, because it's just wonderful. I mean, it really adds to the page. When you turn your page, I mean, you can see it. It's pretty awesome. I like it a lot. All right. So, your page might be an Airstream. I ran out, for my book, I ran out, so I'm using this page. But it's the same concept, guys. You just want to put this here about in the middle. If you want to get your little drummer man, let's see if we can find him. I'm hoping I didn't get crazy and pull my own, oh, there he is, pieces out. I have lots of paper dolls, so sometimes I grab other characters. So kind of use him as a placement. And then you're going to want to look for the holiday greeting piece. All right. That's going to go right there. Okay. What else do we need? We also need a green ticket and the hollies. So I didn't pull out a green ticket for myself, so I'm going to need to go grab one. There it is. So this piece right here, and then I put this little ticket here, so it just has a number. So you're gonna want to cut it. So let's do that first, right? So let's figure out exactly. I glue it. Your edge should go to where that line is. Okay. So just put a little glue. Just put a little glue. And it'll go about right, I don't know, right there. Okay. And then once you have that glued, just put that aside. And yeah, hopefully everybody's still with us, right? Yeah. And then we're going to put this piece here. All right, so again, you're only going to put glue on the edge part. About, I don't know, about halfway, I guess. All right. Who is creating the book with me, or are you just watching along for the tutorial? Just curious. Just curious who is taking the dive and working along with me, so I don't feel like I'm alone. All right, this should be dry by now, so let's cut this. Okay. And then this will go right here. You're watching and you're going to make it later? Okay, Robin. Okay, so that will go right like that. Yeah, what's nice about the rewatch, because I do this when I'm watching Tim Holtz's tutorials, is you can fast forward through pieces of it, right? Sometimes it's a little long to is that the right piece? Let me see. It looks like it's the right piece, right? Yeah, it's got to be the right piece. All right. Okay. Yes, it's like I was saying, sometimes when I'm watching Tim's videos, I used to sit through when he would do his releases, because I would love watching all of his designers makes. Just so talented. But then I ended up I want it like that. No, I ended up watching replays just because I could skip through it. And that, I get a lot of my ideas from his makers. I admit that. But yeah, that's what it's for. That's what this is all about, right? Is inspiration. All right, so that looks good. I'm just for the sake of it, I'm just gonna add some walnut stain around him. Isn't he perfect? And I love it because it's got the little notes here. So it looks like he was made for this for this page. All right. Okay. So I was thinking about doing something like this in spring. Maybe doing a spring book. What do you guys think of that idea? To make it all florally and I don't know. I really love these tag books. So I was thinking about maybe doing a spring class as well. Would you guys be interested in something like that? All right. So very simple page, right? Once you've got your edition, you've got your label, you got your ticket, you're all set. Very good. All right. There we go. Next page. Next page, again, another easy one. Let's see. And let's see. Yeah, I already know what kit I would use of Tim's because I've been thinking about it. I love florals. All right, so this is going to go, this is what you're going to use here. You've got to find your tree insert because that's not it. Hi, Jamie. Nice of you to join. You got to find your tree image, right? I think it's a postcard. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, there it is. Yep, it's a postcard. So this is going to go inside of your frame. So what I would do is I would glue this first. I would probably, let's see here. I would just put, let me think about this a minute. I love this. I hate that we're covering it though, but there's not a lot we can do about that. I'm just thinking out loud. Yeah. I was thinking if I had enough room here, I would cut that. You know what? I'm going to do that. I didn't do that on my original book. If this makes you nervous, don't do it. But I'm going to, and let's hope it doesn't ruin it. So I'm just barely cutting that label. Look at that. Because I don't want to lose those wonderful words. And I should still be able to, yes, I should still be able to frame my tree. So this is how I come up with my ideas, guys. Just I'm very visual. I think that's why I do really well with layering and ephemera, is because I'm a creative, I'm a visual creator. Visual creative. If I see it, I know it works. And I know I've had people ask me in the past, well, how do you know when you're layering? How do you know when you're done? And I'm just, well, you just kind of know based on the way it looks, right? So now I have this fantastic label here that's going to go. We'll figure out where this is going to go. But gosh, I mean, you could put it on the side if you wanted to. Why waste it, right? Oh, man. So, yeah. And then we'll just put it like something like this. I love it. I love that idea. Okay, so let's look for that character. You guys are getting spontaneous Monica here. All right. If it makes you nervous to cut it, don't feel like you have to cut it. But man, I didn't want to lose that wonderful wording. Okay, so we have, this little thing should punch out here. It's another piece of ephemera. You got that right, Robin. All right, this guy has his little arm. This little arm is going to go off the page. Hey, Mari, welcome. I'm glad you're here too. So let's let's glue this. Part of your frame is going to go off to the side. So again, put your thumb here, knowing you don't want to put glue on that side, okay? Let's see if we can straighten that. All right, so my thumb is here. I know I'm not going to put glue past my thumb. My thumb is my ruler. All right. And then I'll flip it over and check your page, guys. Make sure you don't have glue on your page sticking to your next page. But now we have a really nice layover. He looks cold, yes. He's probably in Montana Christmas tree hunting. All right, so the nice thing about this is my glue isn't not going to go on his arm. So I'm going to put my thumb there. And I know not to put glue where my thumb is. Okay? And then I can just, I want to keep my Merry Christmas showing. So if you have to, move them up a little bit if you need to, but you shouldn't need to. So cute. Love it. Love it. Now we have this wonderful piece of ephemera, guys. You can put it, here. You can put it on the side. I'm going to just kind of add it to the top here. And gosh, I'm just so glad that I cut that. So let's add it. All right, so fantastic. I love it. I love it. All right, so now we have a little piece on top. My original one, I did not think to cut that off, but as I was going along, I thought, well, it's going to be covered. I didn't want to waste it. So there you go. All right. Now, I kept these strings on, y'all, because if you want to, you can add pieces, right? So if you wanted to, again, here I'm going off script. If you wanted to create, a tag and add these, for little markers, you can do that. Maybe we'll do that at the end, but these are here for a reason. So we'll just kind of keep those on for just a bit. All right, let's get to our next page. Yep. Oof. Okay, pink. Woo, that's a bright one, right? That's a bright one. Okay, so what do we want? We want this piece here. Let's see if we can find that. I think I saw that in here. Yep, this one right here. All right. So we got this one here. You're going to need your star. Got my little star. You should have some tabs, guys. I cut out some for me. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, there's one right there. So you're going to want a tab. You're going to want a holly piece, all right? Let's see if we can find that. Dangles are awesome. Yes, Robin, I like dangles as well. A lot of people don't think about those. They're like, excuse me, they might think they're in the way, but I like them. All right, so this will go here. Some of these pieces, it's like, is that the right one? But they'll all work. All right, so this will go here. Let me make sure I got the right one. They do look a little angry, right? Maybe they're on the naughty list, guys. Maybe they're on Santa's. Thank you, Maury. Maybe they're on Santa's naughty list, and they just got a peek at the list. Me and my stories. All right, I guess that's the one. So yeah, maybe they're on the naughty list and they're like, oh man, I'm on Santa's naughty list. I'm a little angry about it. Oh well, they still have time to get on the good list. Okay, so I think we have all of our pieces. The first thing we want to glue down is our background, right? So again, keep it in mind. It does hang off of the edge, so again, I like to just kind of use my thumb as my. Oh, Mari, I made the book. Yeah, the book is tags that I put together. If you missed my intro, you may have. Let me show you. I have. I'm sold out of the books for that, but I did put together a few more. So these are in the shop. So if you want to create another flip book, these just the book, not the ephemera. These are in the shop, available for you guys. All right, so let's make that straight. So we've got that. We want to put our little tab, right? And that will go here. Okay. Something like that. We got our star that we will place. They look like Santa brought them coal in their stocking. Robin very could well have done that, yes. They're a little ticked off about it, for sure. Alright, got my star. We want to put our holly down here. Again, keep it in mind, some of this is going to hang off the edge. So, mainly this part here, it looks like is off the edge. So, just hold on a second here. This part is off the edge. Gotta question myself. Okay. And just something like that, right? With the wet glue, you can adjust it, which is nice, especially if you want some of your words showing. Make sure you check it to ensure you don't have any glue coming off the edges. All right. Okay, I'm going to take a quick hydration break here. All right. And then once you have your background all in place, you can go ahead and add your dolls. Let's see. Okay. And let's see. They're a little bit down like that. Now, if you've noticed on some of your books, or your pages, I should say, you have room up here. So if you ever want to come back and put, little, word sayings, or, maybe you have remnant rubs where you can put, I happen to have this sitting on my desk. That's why I'm grabbing it. But if you have, numbers. Let's see if I can get this to come off. This was just sitting on my desk. A lot of times when I'm creating these junk books, I'm just grabbing stuff off of my desk. I love it. So let's do that with some of the other pages as well. That one right there. Oh, let me see what else I got. I don't throw anything away, and that's why my desk always looks like a disaster. My husband walks in, shakes his head, and then turns around and walks out. But so yeah, so don't be afraid to add, little extras. Just put that aside right there. To your book. Sometimes I think, excuse me, if the page has any white space, and I call it white space, but something that doesn't have something on it, I need to find something to put on it. Now, not every page needs to be completely full, but when I'm making these journals, I love having the visual. I love having lots of stuff added. So now that we've got this, we can turn the page. All right, how's everybody doing? Is everybody good? Give it a minute. Look I'm at 52% of people have taken a class with me. So that means 50% of you have not. So welcome. All right. The next thing we're going to do, I gave you guys a couple of slides. So we're going to use these next. All right. The other pieces we're going to use are this pine cone here. So we'll grab that. The pointy finger. So we'll add that. The 25. So let's see. The black one, because we're going to have this big red poinsettia here. Let's see if we can find that one. I think it's this one right here. All right. And then these little girls. I'm not sure what they're thinking, but they look a little irritated, right? All right. They must know something I don't. There they are. There they are. Okay. So let's figure this out. This one could be, I don't want to say complicated because it's definitely not complicated, but you got to kind of think about it. All right. So this is the first piece we're going to lay down. And that's just going to go at the top. And I love this piece because when you have the book closed, this is one of the main pieces you see. It's pretty awesome. Don't put glue on the top or on the right side. So just kind of keep that in mind, all right? So let's add our glue here. And then turn it over. Okay. I think I did it upside down, but that's all right. Let's see. Make sure your glue is not coming through. There we go. Perfect. Your 25. What did I do with my 25s? So your 25s are going to go right on top of this, guys. So we'll just put them on top. Just like that. We'll glue them down in a second. All right, these you're going to need to take apart. I have these in the shop, guys, if you want to get extras. These typically come out pretty easy. Be careful taking them out because we do want to use the outer edge. All right. We're going to glue these down. So let's just put some glue. Now some of it obviously is to come through the holes, but don't worry about that. It'll dry. Okay, so that goes there. Okay. Now keep in mind on the one on the bottom, you want the part of the film to come all the way to the bottom of your slide. Okay, so just kind of move that down. Just like that. And then once you have it in place, then you're going to want to cut it. Okay. And then you're going to do the same thing on this side. All right. Okay, so just flip her around. And I love these slides. I love this technique of adding the portion of the slide to it. I think it looks so good. We'll let that dry a second. And then on the second one, as you can see, you're not going to see this on the other side, so you only have to do one side. I would center that one. Is everybody good so far? Yeah? Put that right in the middle. We'll let that dry a second. Excuse me. All right. Is everybody good? I'm going to add an emoji here. Let's see. All right. Yes, slides are so fun to work with. All right. Let's go ahead and cut this. It's funny. I've been following Tim a long time, and whenever the trend was, for a while you were seeing people using these old vintage slides on projects and stuff, and then then you see Tim has them in his ephemera kits. So I know he watches, or he watched. He's not releasing new items anymore. He watches trends. And for a while, these slides were big trends, right? I mean, a lot of people, you saw them on a lot of projects. So it's fun to be able to see what's trending. I like using vintage items. I know a lot of people don't necessarily want to use the vintage items, but I've never had a problem with it. So, all right. So you're going to want to put these down. So this is a little bit of a pop-up, right, Robin? You were asking earlier. Your little girls are going to sit on top of these, so it pops up just a bit. But before we do that, we need to add... Where's our green? We need to add this. So let's do that. All right, so... I'm going to go like... How is this going to go? It's going to go like this. Okay, your pointy finger goes on this. So let's find it. So you might want to do that first. He does kind of hang off a little bit, not too much, right? So you can add that first. Leave part of your finger unglued, because that's going to be off of the edge. Okay. If you get a little glue on the back, just wipe it dry. Not a big deal. All right, so now that you have that, we can put these down before we glue our slides. Okay. Let's put this. Okay. Look at this. So, okay, so this actually goes down first. Hopefully y'all aren't ahead of me. It looks like I put this down first, and then that pine cone bush goes on top of it. So that will go first. And then this. Actually, it looks like I did it on both of them. All right. Put this next. And just, I don't know, just place it. It doesn't have to be perfect. But you do want to have them off, you know, off-centered. Then we can add this. All right. Oh gosh, look at, I put that on the wrong side, but we'll fix that. Not a big deal. All right, so that's going to go here. Something like that. But let's see if we can put it straight. All right, so I need to add this here because obviously I was not paying attention when I did that. No big deal. Now you're going to have to pre-cut this. Again, not a big deal. Ain't no big thing. But let's see if we can get it straight though. How's that? All right, I think that's good. That's gonna go right there. All right, perfect. And then our little girls will go here, right? Is everybody with me still? Everybody good? Now keep in mind your little girls are popping up, so you don't necessarily have to put glue on this side of her dress. I got glue dangles going on here. Okay. This will go right here. Don't cover your finger. That sounds funny to say. But just place it. Perfect. Right? Yeah, looks good. This one's a little higher. We can move it a little bit. Have her feet dangling a little bit. Now we can add our 25. Oh, God, these are very sensitive. Let's see. Don't tear your 2 like I almost just did. Once it's glued down, it'll be fine. So 25. And this pretty much fits on that poinsettia, so you can put glue on all of your number. Alright, so 25 goes right there. Isn't that perfect? Mari's still with us. Thank you guys. Alright. So that had a lot, that page had a lot to it, right? But not, I wouldn't say hard, just it was very busy. We are an hour 19 in. We're doing real good. So we'll just go on to the next page, I guess. Does anybody have questions? If anybody is new to my classes, I would love for you to introduce yourself. 50% of you all have said you've never taken a class with me. So, welcome. All right. Let's go to the next one. Excuse me. Right. Everybody good? I'm giving you guys just a second to catch up. All right, let's get going here. All right, so you should have a little milk cap. And then you will have, this is a very simple page, guys. Your little label here that's going to go right at the edge. And this is going to be your page turner. Okay. Glue's just going to go on the bottom. This hangs off the side, so you don't want to add glue to the edge, or else you're going to glue your pages shut. I've never done that, but I've had glue stick on the other side. And that's why I'm real good about checking now. All right. And then this also comes off the side, guys. Excuse the throat. I don't know what's going on with that. And then just a little bit of glue. You have it coming off the side and also on the top. So just kind of be mindful of that. Let's move that up just a bit. That's what's nice about the wet glue. Is it will move with you until you figure out exactly where you want it. Which is nice. I like that. All right. Elizabeth, welcome. I'm glad you made it with us. Love the book. I ordered some of the blank books. Awesome. Yeah, the blank books are great. Talking about this little book here, I didn't have enough to create more of these particular ones, but I did create some blank books so you guys can create more of these books. I think they're awesome. All right, let's put our people. Now see, here we go. So this, as you can see, isn't out far enough. So this is why I love wet glue, because I can move this out now to make sure my label is showing. Now keep in mind, I'm probably going to have glue on the other side. Yep, I do. But it's almost dry that it's not sticking anymore. So, perfect. So I do have these 3-in-1s in my shop. This is pretty much what I use for my junk journals. Because I need to have movement. So that's what I do. And this dress part is hanging off the edge a little bit. So let's be mindful of that. Okay. Yeah, the blank books, I mean, you can pretty much do them with any theme. That's why I really like them. All right, let's move this down a bit. So that's a very simple page. But again, look at all the extra white parts you have. I'm going to add another number here. Again, this is not part of your kit, but I just happen to have these sitting on my desk. Excuse me, my goodness. And so let's just add. Let's just add this. Okay, so this will go here, right? These are just old remnant rubs I happen to have sitting on my desk. So I'm just kind of showing you that, you know, these books are yours. Make them your own. If you want to add extras to the pages, by all means. The layouts that I'm showing you, I know work for the pages because I've tested it. So, but if you want to add little extras, you can definitely do that. All right, very simple page. Let's turn the page and go to the pocket. All right, so the next page is an insert that I gave you. I die cut these for you. And let's see, what did I do here? Just trying to look to see what I did. Okay, I'm trying to remember. Okay, so you're going to want to, now you can do this a couple ways, right? You don't necessarily need to have the backing if you don't want. But if you don't have the, I don't know if I gave the extra tags to everybody. I can't remember. But I have an extra backing, so I'm going to do that. Don't put glue on the inside, just on the outer edge. Yeah, that's a great question, Elizabeth. So you can add color to your paper dolls. I know that Tim has done that technique before. Paula Cheney also does great tutorials on that. I colored my paper dolls, I'll say that. I like the black and white though. All right, so that is my tag. I should have somewhere, yeah, these little doodads. Let's see if we'll add those in a minute. All right, so now you can, now you can add your ephemera pieces, right? Clever, clever. Okay, so we'll just leave that there just for an example. You want to find your Christmas greetings. This right here. Let's see if we can find that. There it is. And that's going to go, it's going to go right here, okay? All right. Let's put that right there. Nice. And then now you have to, okay, so let me think about this a second. I put a little tab here. I matched. You can use, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with that, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of keep with that. So let me cut, again, I'm kind of going rogue here. Let me just figure out how big, about to that line right there. Okay. So I'm going to add a little tab. Again, not necessary. I'm kind of going rogue. But if you do want to add a little tag, this is where you would do it. This is another reason why the backing is good, because then you're not, you're not covering up the holes. So not necessary, but you can do this. And then you could put a little label on it if you wanted to, right? Okay, so let's just kind of do that. And then that will hang off, right? That'll be your page turner. All right, and then we need to glue this down, right? So let's do that. You haven't been able to find the paper dolls? Which particular ones, Mari? Just paper dolls in general? Because they're all over the place. Okay, so let's, I think I got a little carried away with my glue here. Yeah, be careful with your glue. like that. All right. Pretty good, pretty good. Did that backwards. Okay. I got a little carried away with that glue there. I'm going to do that again. I think I'm going to come back after the fact. Oh, I guess I have this one here. I put glue on the wrong side. That's the problem I'm having right this second. So let me just see if I can control my glue here. And then I'll cut out another one and fix that back side. See, I got glue all over it. Oh, I guess it rubs off. I always say don't sweat the little stuff, but sometimes I sweat the little stuff. I don't take my own advice. Okay. All right. Whatever. Whatever. We've all been there, right? Yeah, the paper dolls, Mari. I'm surprised you can't find them. Scrapbook.com. I hoard them, so I have several packs of them. But yeah, Scrapbook.com has them. I mean, they're all over the place. Just Google paper dolls. Tim Holtz paper dolls. In fact, I'll put... Yep, that's what I used. All right, so got everything I need here. Let's go ahead and fill my my little book here. All right, so got that. See, I could even hide part of that ticket, right? Because it's cut off, but no one's going to see it. Okay. Just like that. Okay, that's good. And then I used, let's see here. I guess I don't have to use all of these here. Oops. I just added some of these vintage trading stamps to the shop. You guys remember these, right? You used to get them when you went to the grocery store. And I was in an antique shop in Prescott, where I used to live, and I found a whole bunch of them. All right, and then this will just go just right here. Okay. So yeah, so those pockets are great to just add little pieces of ephemera. At the end of the class, you're going to have extra items, and these are good pockets to add your stuff. All right, let's take a quick stretch. Standing up, stretching my fingers. If you guys know my story, I have problems with my hands. So I have to stretch them every once in a while. Yeah, Hobby Lobby, Mari, doesn't have the paper dolls. I can tell you that for a fact. For the most part, you're going to have to get those online. But yeah, just doing a quick stretch. Okay. Don't need much, just need a little. All right. Let's keep going. See, this is perfect because you can put, if you have an extra poinsettia, you can put that there. You can put a little label there. Lots of things you can do there. All right. Let's go to the next page. Okay, very easy page. This, let's see what I did here. Yeah. This is a belly band, or so to speak, right? You're not going to glue this down. You're just going to get this, and you're just going to glue the edges, guys. Don't get carried away with your glue. And then just put glue on the edge here, right? Because you want your postcard to be able to slide through it. This is a great postcard. I love it. All right, so let's see if we can find that one. What a fantastic postcard. And then probably makes more sense. You're going to want to give this a minute to dry, but I don't have patience. So it's just going to slide right in. Okay? So kind of like a belly band, if you've ever made belly bands before. And then you should have a couple of these tabs in there. Hey, Carly, welcome back. 1967. Is that your year you were born? Me too. Okay, so my glue is running a little empty here. I might have to go get another one. That's what's nice about having a shop with craft supplies, is I can shop my shop. Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, if I run out, I can go get things out of my inventory. But the thing I have to remember is to take it out of stock in my shop. I've done that before. All right, so looks like I put that little tab underneath the peppermint stick. And with a wet glue, you can adjust it. Youngsters. Oh, boy. All right. And again, another place for labeling or whatever you want to do. It's awesome. All right. We are, oh my gosh, you guys. We are down to the last page. Have you all had a good time? I know I have. I love making these little books. Okay, last page. This is a very easy page. We're going to use our green tag. And we're going to make a pocket here. So, just kind of see, you want to, yeah. You're going to want to leave part of this hanging, okay? So, figure out, I guess we could do it that way. Figure out where you want your glue. It's going to be about, yay. This is a pocket, so don't, I almost put glue on the top. Don't get carried away like I almost did. I almost put glue. Oh, and see, this is a problem. Look at, see, I already made a mistake. Don't put glue on this side. I should have put my, okay, so it's a nice thing about wet glue is it rubs off. When we're done here, we're going to have time, guys. I'm going to share with you some of the prior projects I've done, and maybe we'll revisit some in the future. Because I do love making junk journals. And it sounds like you all do too. Okay, I need to stop talking because I am putting glue where I shouldn't be putting glue. Okay. Give me a second. Give me a second here. Let's let that dry. All right. We need to keep, Monica, we need to keep this open for a pocket. I didn't think this was going to be that complicated, but apparently I'm losing my brain. taking all that wet glue off. Okay, let's be conscientious about what we're doing here. This is a pocket. I want glue up to this part here, okay? Sorry guys, apparently I can't talk and craft at the same time. All right, it will fit just like that. But it extends to include part of that pocket, so we got to be careful. Okay. All right. Now we can glue this down as a pocket. So keep the top part open, glue the bottom and the sides. Man, Monica. Okay, keep the top part open, glue the bottom and the sides. Okay. Okay. Whew. Didn't think it was that complicated, but apparently it was. All right. Sometimes. All right, let me put my glasses back on so I can see the question. Monica, have you ever thought about a craft weekend retreat? Maybe you already have. You know, yes, I have thought about that. But I'm very rural. And I'm not that popular, if you can believe it. What? You're not that popular? So the cost that it would take to do a retreat, you're talking about like going someplace, I think I wouldn't get my money back. I'm not that popular. I'm not, you know, like a Tim Holtz or, you know, whatever. So I don't think I would get my money back if I did a retreat. And that's why I do them online, because it doesn't cost me anything to do it online other than my time. So yeah, but yeah, I definitely have thought about that. I'm actually thinking about, and I'll share this with you, I'm thinking about designing some of my own stamps, especially since Tim isn't putting out stamps anymore. I'm just kicking around the idea. I work full time, so I don't want to overextend myself. But yes, I have thought about staying at your place. What about staying at your place? Staying at my place? Like at my house? It's not big enough for everybody. I mean, there are, you know, you bring up an interesting idea, because there are little Airbnbs here in town. I don't know. I don't think I would get enough people to justify my cost. And that would worry me. Okay. Last but not least. Tent like stay. Oh boy. Boy, that'd be interesting. I have the property for it, that's for sure. All right, so these are, I didn't include this, I don't think. But this is what is going to go in here. So let's just make this really quickly. Okay, so let's see. So you've got a big person, right? I have extra. I don't know if I want to use that. You might have to dig into your own stash for this. Let me see what I got. So dig into your own paper stash. sorry, Maxie. All right, so I don't think I gave you this, guys, but I just did for the pocket. So let me show you how I'm going to do this real quick. This, I'm just using heavy paper cardstock. And this is 2 3/4. All right. So that's what we're going to cut. 2 3/4. You know what we should do if we want to do a retreat? There's a retreat that goes on around here that I've been thinking, not around here, but I've been thinking about attending. If I do end up attending a retreat, maybe we can all meet up. That would be fun. All right. And then this is, let's see. That would be a lot of fun. 6. Halloween books. I sold out of my Halloween books, Robin. If I have time, maybe I'll make a couple more. So, make sure you're on my mailing list. You can sign up on my mailing list over at my shop, tailormadecardsforyou.com. And if I can get enough paper to maybe I'll make a few more tags. You can, I'm just thinking out loud here, guys. You can use this for your Halloween tag, or your Halloween book. You know. But yeah, I'll see if I can make up a couple. But yeah, they sold out. Okay, so we're gonna do this. So this is that size there. And then I'm just looking for, I went to my Tim Holtz paper. And this would be perfect because, look it's kind of has that theme that our book is. So let's just do this. So yeah, if I have a chance to do up some books, I'll do about 3 or 4 of them. Who would want one of those Halloween books? It would just be a tag book. Okay, so good old Tim. Love his paper. Love his paper. So we're just making the insert here. Like I said, I did not cut in his paper. Robin, yes. Told you I'm gonna use my stuff. I'm not gonna hoard it. I'm just not. All right. And then this will be the back. See, this one I didn't cover, but I'm going to cover this one. Oh, my fingers are cramping. Okay, so let's just add this. I can check with you. Robin, you have to use your supplies. Oh my gosh, you're so funny. Okay, so when I moved to Montana, most of the packed crates were my craft supplies. And my husband said if we ever move again, he's not doing that again. So I can't take all my craft supplies with me. All right, that's going to be too thick. So let's just eyeball it here. Oh, I rounded them. All right, perfect. Okay, so let's just round this. I love this tool. Okay, there we go. So again, this was not part of your kit, but you can easily make these. And then this little lady's gonna go right here, okay? So her head, about where her eyes are, should go on the paper. You don't want her to be sticking up too high, so just kind of keep that in mind. So again, figure out, you know, what you want to pop up. We're going to cut off part of her dress, so kind of keep that in mind. Yeah, it's so many crafts up, but keep in mind I have a lot of stuff from my shop too, a lot of inventory. So yeah, my husband said, yeah, we're not doing that again. I'm like, oh, we'll see. But I'm using more of my items now. I don't hoard as much as I used to, because I enjoy making. All right, once you have her glued, you got to cut off part of her dress. And then you can decorate this if you want to, you know, but that's part of the layer, right? Because her head sticks up. All right, guys, that's the book. Any questions? I'm gonna share with you a couple of my prior Christmas makes. I'm thinking about doing another, let's see. Thinking about doing another book in the spring. So let's put this aside. We've got a couple minutes. We've been going almost 2 hours. So let me share with you a couple of my prior makes. So we did this last year, I think. This was one of the books I did last year. We can maybe do something like this again, right? This has the pocket up there. Again, the slides, the little belly band. So a lot of what we do, I've used the techniques in the past. This has, you know, a pull-out tag, right? Because it doesn't have to be upside down. This is an awesome book. Maybe we'll do something like this in the spring. Something can go here. You got a little postcard here. Again, those little tabs. This is another pocket, right? Stick that back in there. This is, oh, there we go. Oh, I'm not gonna know this opens. There you go. Oh, cute. A little paper clip. And then a little, let's not break it, Monica. This, how does this come out? There we go. Got stuff in here and stuff in here. I made these little pockets in a video, I believe. But yeah, so this was one of the Christmas books I've done in the past. We could easily adjust it to spring. So that's one of them I've done. And these were kits. These were all kit classes. Here's a kit class I've done in the past also. This is an accordion one. Love this design. And again, I'm just, like I said, I'm thinking about doing something in the spring. But, so this flips. A lot of Tim Holtz stuff, of course. I've got the little tucks. Remember I told you about the little tucks? These are tucks that can go like that. So a lot of the techniques that I shared with you today, you can incorporate into other journals. Pockets. Love my pockets. This is a tag that goes in here. See? There we go. And then it flips over, and then you have pages on the other side. So yeah, we could easily do another accordion class. So that's the other thing that we've done before. And then this is, I think, the most recent one. It's not even fully decorated, but this is one of your thicker ones. And I don't even think I decorated all the pages. Look at that. Look at all these pages that are open. All right. I think one of my accordion books, I have one of the books. If you go to my handmade part in my shop, I think I have some of these for sale. Because keep in mind, I do the prototype and then I do one for the class. So, unfortunately, someone in town already wants to buy one of these, so I'm not going to be selling this. And I keep one for myself, just to have ideas for the future. But, yeah, so these are the kind of classes that I do. I'm not going to have, the classes I did this year were my tag books. So, as Robin was saying, I have the Halloween class coming up next weekend, right? And it's, the books, oh, there it is. And that's next Saturday. We're going to be going at 10 a.m. Oh, here's another class we did. Love this one. Remember this one, Robin? This was a Halloween one, too. Look at that. Ah, fantastic. So this was one of our Halloween books that we made. Little danglies, remember, Robin? Pockets. Lourdes, I think you just bought some of these. They're going to go out in the mail to you. But yeah, little danglies. And then little vintage receipts. So that was a good one. I just happened to see that in here, but I was looking for my Halloween book. And see, this is what I was saying. Look at, I've got two of these because I do a prototype and then I have my books. So I think one of those is listed in the shop. I don't remember. But yeah, that's what I've been trying to do, is get rid of my, not get rid of, but sell off my extras. All right, I don't seem to be finding the Halloween book for next week. But yeah, we are doing the Halloween class next week. Oh, here it is. 10 a.m. guys. 10 a.m. And we're going to be making this. So this is next week. This is another layered book. It was a kit class, but we'll be making it next week. All right. I think I've shared with you enough. I hope everybody had a great time. Yes, Tina, please give me a thumbs up. Check out my shop. That's how I support my channel, is by you supporting me. So I appreciate you. And I hope you guys join me tomorrow. I'm going live tomorrow. On my website, I've been playing. I have free Halloween labels that we're going to be playing with tomorrow. So download them, and we will be live tomorrow at 3 p.m. on my channel. And we're going to make some fun little Halloween labels. All right. I will see you all later. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks for joining me. Bye.